welcome to the wonderful world of dodgy movies and TV. I'm your host, Movie and TV Mistress. As promised, I'm back reviewing a dodgy film. So the film in question is a film I found in my husband's collection of videos that he's collected over the years, and I have to admit, he surprised me when he told me he hadn't seen it. So the film is called Hologram Man. Now, yes, proof I do own, or he owns it. Well, we own it now. This is a movie by a company called PM Entertainment. They were quite big in the 90s, from about 89 until 2002. They made a lot of weird action films with probably action stars you've never heard of. I'd never heard of this guy Joe Lara before, or Evan Laurie, who apparently is some sort of bodybuilder or wrestler, I don't know. Anywho, so this is directed, it says it's directed by Richard Pepin, but on the credits and on here it says it's directed by Richard Pepin and Joseph Mary, which could explain the bizarreness of this film.
My name is Slash Gallagher.
It is a time of revolution.
Come and join me in my cause. The California Corporation took Los Angeles away from us. Now I'm here to take it back.
It is a time to choose sides.
This had better work.
Relax. I'm a genius.
A rookie sent to stop him.
How do you like your first day on the job, Dakota?
Asking for a war, Mr. President. All Slash Gallagher wants is power.
Isn't that what this council exists for, power?
We built the Biodome. We feed the people. We control the crime. I send you out to stop him, and you say he's invincible, sir.
I saw Gallagher walk through flame and gunfire like it was nothing. He killed half my men.
A few must die for the greater good. That is the way of revolution.
But revolutions are not fueled by ideals alone.
Open the vault.
A direct assault? Sir, there's hostages in there.
We get Gallagher any way we can.
Haven't you learned by now that every time we play this game, you lose? Better luck next time, buddy.
But next time, he'll need more than luck. He will need time and the technology to transform himself into what the enemy has become.
Dakota!
Hologram Man.
Now, when I saw the cover, I was like, what the hell is Hologram Man? My first thought was, okay, is it going to be like Automan? Now, Automan was a TV series in the early 80s that lasted 13 episodes, which I've probably mentioned before, about a guy who builds a holographic cop. And the holographic cop can make holographic cars and stuff that are physical, and he's physical, and yeah. I'll probably get to that show at some point. So I was thinking, okay, maybe something like that. But then I read the back, and when I read the back of this, my first thought was, it sounds a bit like Demolition Man, Lawnmower Man, that sort of thing. Because the bad guy, psycho terrorist, is brought to justice. His name is Slash. He's also called Norman, which really he doesn't like. I'm guessing he associates it with Norman Bates. I don't know. He doesn't like the fact his name is Norman, but he prefers to go by Slash. And he is detained in the meanest form of punishment, holographic stasis. My thoughts are, poor Rimmer has been in holographic stasis for, what, 20 odd years now? Possibly 30 at this point. So yeah, basically they're reprogrammed in holographic stasis, then they'll be put back into their bodies. So there's like this weird morgue room that has drawers of bodies that are not conscious and do not have their consciousness because it's in the holographic detainment state. Science, people! 1995 science. When is this set? Oh, I have no idea. It starts off.
That's not a regulation gun, sir.
Neither are these.
I thought it was like, okay, so this is present day LA. I don't know if it was. I have no idea. They jump ahead 5 years after the first opening sequence, which by the way has the big name on the box of John Amos in it. And yeah, he's a black cop in a 90s cop movie, and one of the other characters goes, "You need to retire." As soon as that person said retirement, I was like, you're gonna die, aren't you? It's not like Lethal Weapon where, you know, he survives. No, he's dead within the first 5 minutes of this movie before a pornographic sex scene. And this is what makes me laugh. So, have it on video, but chose to watch it on YouTube first. So I watched it on YouTube yesterday. It was very long. I found it a bit hard to watch, and there was this very, very over the top sex scene that seems to go on for about 5 minutes in the YouTube film version of it. And I understand why. They had a playmate playing the bad guy's girlfriend, so take advantage, I guess, of that option and have lots of tits within the first 5 minutes of the movie. You know, keep those teenage boys hooked on the film. However, I chose to rewatch it today just to clarify what I wanted to comment on about this bizarre film. And wouldn't you know it, the VHS copy is edited in comparison to the YouTube film. So it's like a 30-second sex scene that isn't very pornographic at all. It's just like a couple of noises, and then all of a sudden he's in bed with her beside him, and he's going, "My public awaits," and that's it. I'm like, I know I definitely watched a very longer sex scene between you and that playmate. Anywho, moving on from that, so the movie starts, we'll say it's present day, sure, why not? LA. Looks like LA riots are going on, a couple of explosions, big bullets breaking up cars, etc. And then all of a sudden a Mad Max car comes into shot. Okay, sure, Mad Max. Because we need that. I was sitting there going, what has Mad Max got to do with this movie now? And what is the Hologram Man thing gonna turn up? So it's kind of like Demolition Man in that it starts off with the, capture of the bad guy, I guess. But the main cop, which I guess would typically be the Sylvester Stallone cop, is a rookie working with John Amos, and John Amos gets killed protecting him. And the mayor of LA or whatever, governor of LA, sorry, not mayor, governor of LA is killed. So bye-bye to the guy from Airwolf, Alex Cord. And then we jump ahead 5 years, and all of a sudden there's a biodome, because I needed that reference in this movie, biodome, all over LA, because of the, atmosphere and the fact that the ozone layer apparently got destroyed in 5 years. Sure, and they were able to build a biodome over LA, over the top of the buildings, in 5 years. He's coming up for parole. We get to see another hologram guy who has been reprogrammed and is being released, and that's all fine. And then it turns out we've got a saboteur in the midst of the company, or LA Corp, no, CalCorp Yeah, sorry. California is now owned by a corporation with the ever-seeing eye. You know, the eye in the pyramid. Yeah, that's their logo. So all I'm thinking of is the Illuminati is involved. You've got the love interest from Flashdance as the president of California, because they have presidents in 5 years. What? Logic, movie. You said it jumped ahead 5 years. You got a bald guy that you might recognise from Darkman, if you've ever seen Darkman. And there's Darkman references in this because of the way that they... Yeah. So let me explain. This movie is basically Demolition Man with a bit of virtuosity thrown in at the end, if you've ever seen Virtuosity. Maybe a bit of Lawnmower Man if you want to go down that route. Or, yeah. Basically, this film felt like I was watching an amalgamation of just about every 90s film. So you've got Point Break, and I'll tell you why. The rookie cop is called Dakota. I know it's Johnny Utah in Point Break, but the entire time they kept referring to him as Dakota, all I kept thinking was, Utah! Johnny Utah! Yeah, so there's that. You've got very obvious Demolition Man references, including the fact that in one scene, "I'll leave you alone, Demolition Man," is said to said rookie cop, who is now like a major captain of the police or something. Because in 5 years he's made like captain or something, or he's in charge, I don't know. They have like a holodeck type set at one point, and I'm like, okay, so we're gonna have a holodeck set? No. VR. It's basically kind of like, it's the holodeck set kind of from the way he's standing in it, but then he puts down his little visor on his bike helmet, which makes me laugh. It's a bike helmet with some paint on it and some wires. I know, sci-fi cheap, whatever. Yeah, so, and then he plays it's kind of like, you know that scene in X-Men, The Last Stand, where they do the whole, you know, finally do the combat room. Yeah, this is his combat room. And he's so kick-ass, he can take on 12 terrorists in a simulation with 12 bullets. I watched said simulation in the film, in the scene, and oh my god, I know it's 1995 and that's the graphics of GoldenEye, clearly. But boy, that was GoldenEye set to extremely easy. I mean, it's so stupidly slow and easy. Even the face of this guy, this simulation of a computer terrorist or whatever. Yeah, that's hilarious. What does Slash want? He wants the LA to be given back to the people, is what he says. Because the corporation has taken over and everyone must follow the corporation's rules and blah blah blah. Right? So it sounds like he might be a good guy. Right? Like the Dennis Leary character, possibly. No. He's a psychopath who likes to kill people, blow them up. And as much as he says he wants to go back to people, he really just wants the president's power. That being said, the said president, the love interest from Flashdance, if you remember, he is also a douchebag. Actually, do you know what? None of the characters in this film come off as anything worthwhile. They're all horrible people. Even the hero that we're supposed to be like cheering for, oh my god, he just, it's bland. And it's, every so often we'll have an action, a few explosions, and it's 141 minutes. That's 110 minutes long. So that's an hour and 41 minutes of my life that I can't get back. Actually, technically that's 3 hours, just over 3 hours of my life that I can't get back. It's not a bad film, it's a well made and put together movie. There's a lot of people you'll recognise from stuff if you've watched, as I said, Darkman, Blade Runner, Airwolf, Flashdance, John Amos. Biggest name on the list is John Amos. And what's his character's name? Wes Strickland. What went through my mind when I saw his name in the credits? And I know he's a bald black guy. Hasn't that guy ever had hair? Yeah, that's what went through my head. Because his name's Strickland, and I have to say a line from Back to the Future. The acting from the main two leads is bizarre. And I have questions about the holograms. So they have, they're able to walk around the city, whatever, fine, right? Once they escape the hollow prison thingy, right? And the cop ends up dying and being turned into a hologram by his girlfriend because she doesn't want to lose him. Now you're stuck with her, dude. She controls you. She has the power to end your life. So you'll have to stay with her. I have questions. So they, to get around the fact that they don't have to have this weird fuzzy image of a hologram version of themselves walking around in a white suit that, on the first guy, I swear I thought he was naked. I was like, ew, why is he naked? But he's not. He's wearing a white suit. They get put, Slash gets put into some weird polymer that is, can withhold the energy. There's some sciencey jargon that they talk about. Positively or negatively charged ion, I don't know. Anyway, they put him into some weird plastic thing, and then of course that means that they can turn him into anyone if they want, so they do a reference which it was really obvious, and I was like, it's gonna be like Dark Man. Oh, there you go. When the other cop gets turned into a hologram, his girlfriend says she's putting makeup on him. So my first thought was it was kind of like David McCallum's Invisible Man and Dark Man for the bad guy. But, okay, so you're putting like plastic on a guy or makeup on a guy who's a hologram. Yet they still have the same like skin tone as before and the same hair. How does plastic make hair? I mean, like dreadlock hair that is black? That doesn't make sense. I'm just saying. I also have questions about when the rookie cop, as a hologram, after having makeup added to himself or whatever, has sex with said girlfriend. Okay, so they're holograms. And on the construction of said hologram, why would they give them their dick? I know that seems weird, and this is the... Look, I've been watching Mallrats, and I'm probably going for a Brody stage. Wondering, how does he have sex? Because, one, he's not physical. So he can't get it up, is my thought. Because to do that, you see what I'm saying. Okay? And it looks like all he's doing is giving her electric shock, so I guess she's into kinky shock treatment. So if you are a fan of 90s films like Speed, oh yeah, there's a reference to Speed. Speed, Johnny Mnemonic, Strange Days, let's say. Maybe you like the old Nintendo 64 game of GoldenEye, or any action film from that period. You probably might enjoy this. It's an independent production company that has created it. It's not well known as far as I can see on the, there's not even much information I can find out about it apart from possibly the fact that Evan Laurie, I think it is. Let me see. Evan Laurie, the bad guy who plays Slash. Apparently he was on anabolic steroids. Now, whether or not this is true, I'm just going by what it says on IMDb. He was on anabolic steroids at the time, so he had some major roid rage issues on the film set, which apparently are in the film. I couldn't tell if he was roid raging or just acting, or just... I don't know. But apparently the budget was so restrictive they couldn't reshoot. So, there you go. Would I recommend this film? I do actually. It wasn't bad. It was a lot better than I expected. though I'd rather watch Virtuosity. I'm trying to be nice about it. I could have fallen asleep for it yesterday, and I nearly fell asleep for it again today, because it goes on. You know, like in Lord of the Rings, the last one, the last Lord of the Rings, where it ends, and it ends, and it ends, and it ends. The entire movie of this feels like it's the last 5 minutes of an action movie. Seriously, the credits start, and they go on for ages, and then it feels like you've just walked into the end of an action film. And then every action sequence afterwards just feels like, yeah, this is the final battle. It's not. It just keeps going, and then when you get to the ending, it's like, and then it's got a political statement to point out at the end, which I thought was kind of apt for this year.
Congratulations, Dakota. I've decided the martial law will remain in effect indefinitely. I'll have absolute power. And you'll be my right hand.
You and Slash, just different sides of the same coin.
Don't even think of crossing me.
Is that a threat, Jameson?
Look, Dakota, I'll make you a very wealthy man. All you have to do is be a good cop. And remember that your duty belongs to me.
My duty is to end this shit here and now.
Oh my God, Dakota. What are we gonna do now?
Vote.
Yes, this movie should be watched this year, because it has a statement about presidents that are all about the power. That's all I'm saying. So yes, watch this movie and take heed of the douchebag in charge of said corporation. Let's call him Flump. Check it out. It is on YouTube, as I said, and be aware that the YouTube film has a very long sex scene right after the first action sequence in the movie that was not what I was expecting in an action movie right at the start. So be aware of that. And thank you so much for watching. Thank you all for your comments about my last video. I really appreciate it. And I hope you don't mind me still doing my knitting. And please keep watching and commenting and subscribing. Share the videos with people and tell them to subscribe. I really appreciate it. Remember, the subscribe button should be around this side. It might be up or down. I don't know. It'll figure out when I put it up. Over here is the notification bell. So when you hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, because that will notify you when I upload. And I will see you next week for another dodgy film. Because as I always say, there's a lot of dodgy films out there.